Good morning, everybody. My name is Jeannie Mae, and this is Mondays with Mae Bae. And on this week's episode, I wanted to talk about your blessings. And oftentimes, we allow problems in our life to let us lose sight of our blessings. See, lately I've been having some health issues, as you guys are aware. I lost vision in my right eye, and it has not restored. So I've been allowing my doubt and my problem to lose sight of my blessing. My blessing being I still have vision in my left eye. My blessing being I still get to see my son. My blessing being I still have a job. I still have a roof over my head. I still have food in the fridge. And a lot of the time, we think that these problems come in our life because we're not worthy. We're not good enough. God doesn't love us. But the reality is, that's not God. That is Satan trying to weasel his way in and plant weeds in your garden. See, what happens is kind of similar in like pest control. And I know that sounds silly to think of yourself as a pest, but hear me out, okay? We're all familiar with animal traps, right? The big metal cage, you plant food in there, the rodent or whatever goes in, and the door springs shut behind it, trapping it in. That's what Satan's trying to do to us. He's trying to bait us in with all these doubts, with all these ideas that our purpose, our life isn't good enough, that we're not good enough, that we're damaged, that we're not capable of love. He puts all these insecurities in our head to put a lack of trust in God. And what happens is when you start believing those insecurities and when you start believing that you are damaged and that you're not good enough, that spring door shuts and you become a prisoner to those thoughts. And it's hard to escape it. You can't create a good relationship with God or a good life if you're so focused on your problems. We all have that one friend or someone that we've encountered that only thinks about negative and they're just so down and they're so negative all the time, right? That's not a very enjoyable person to be around. That's what happens when you allow that insecurity and that doubt and those problems to fester. But if you can find the positive in every situation, if you can look at your problem and say, okay, this sucks, it's a problem, right? But what is the blessing? What is the blessing? And I'm sure you're like, okay, Jeannie, I'm going through some stuff you don't understand. There's no blessing. Well, you might not be able to see it, but change your perspective. See, when I lost vision in my eye, it was due to a seizure I had. And I was super depressed. I was damaged. I was insecure. I literally laid in bed and ate a whole pack of Oreos and watched TV for like a week. Okay. Yes, that was me. All right. This well put together person was in bed, chilling, eating Oreos. Didn't even go to the gym for like a week. And in my head, my life was over. I was never going to be that strong, successful woman that I always envisioned. How could I amount to anything if I can't even see straight? I can't see anything over here. How am I supposed to see something coming? But one day, my perspective changed. God told me I have a new perspective. And when I started realizing, hey, I didn't lose all my sight, I still have my left eye. I have to be a little bit more cautious. Yeah. I have to be more intentional with things that I'm doing. Yeah. But I have this whole new perspective. See, I lost my vision, but I never lost sight that God was the answer. And it's terrifying because of all these doctor's appointments I've gone to, all these medical treatments, there's no for sure answer. But that's because some things just aren't of this world to solve. It's up to God to solve. And you need to stay focused. You need to put all your sight on God. I know each one of us thinks we're damaged, and I know we have insecurities in one way or another, but you are beautifully and wonderfully made in God. He would not create you if He just wanted to give up on you. Just like parents, you don't give up on your kids, right? No. You, even when they make you upset, you don't just walk away from them. You lean into them. You might say, hey, I need a minute. That really hurt my feelings. Walk away and then come back even stronger, ready to parent again. But that's essentially what God does to us, is He gives us a couple minutes and then He comes back and says, okay, how can we fix this? See, when you lean into Satan and you believe all those doubts and insecurities and lies, and you have that lack of trust in God, you are limiting yourself. Let me say that again. You are limiting yourself from receiving the blessings that God has in store for you. You cannot create a great relationship with God if you are holding on to that fear, that insecurity, that doubt. So I want to encourage you, as tempting as it may be to lay in bed and eat Oreos and doubt yourself, to give up on that idea that you have, that passion that's inside your heart, to walk away from a goal, all because someone doubted you, or because you're starting to doubt yourself, or because you lost sight of the blessing. I want to encourage you not to do that. Because the moment you lean into that doubt, and the moment you lean into that insecurity, and the moment that you give up trust in God's plan for your life, is the moment that spring door shuts and you become a prisoner to Satan. And I can promise you, you don't want that life. So, as scary as it may seem, as uncertain as times are, keep praying. Keep praying. God's not done with you yet. He has so much more to teach you. He has so many more blessings to come your way. Okay? If you're faced with a circumstance today that you are like, there's no positive side to this, Jeannie, you are full of it, okay? Change your perspective. Instead of looking at it face on, try to look at it from someone else's point of view. Try to look at it outside the box. Think of it as a glass half full, not half empty. If you want that great life, that great relationship, that job, you cannot allow fear and insecurity to hold you back. You have to let go of that. You cannot hold on to that and have a successful life. And I learned that the hard way. See, as soon as I started believing all these doubts and all these lies and this fear that I had inside my heart, a lot more problems started to arise because I was allowing Satan to come in and take over where God once stood in my life. And it took someone very close to me for me to realize that. And I hate to admit it, but I am worth it. I am worth loving. I am worth success. I am worthy of God, and so are you. I know that sounds silly to say that, but remind yourself that you are good enough. You are worthy. You are beautifully and wonderfully made in God's image. There's only one of you. And Satan is trying to come in and take you away from God. Don't let that happen, okay? Don't allow your problems to let you lose sight of your blessing. That's all I have for you today. I hope you have a fantastic day. I hope you make it your mission to make someone's day better. And I'm going to challenge you to look at the positive. In that problem, look for the blessing. Because God would not put you to it if He couldn't bring you through it. That's all I got for you. Hope you have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.